Good morning. Welcome to In the Loop. This is Monday, April 13th, 2026. I'm guest host Irene Martin, filling in for Joy this week. Today we have Reverend David Baumbaugh for our inspiration message and Cacey Clevenger, cardiology nurse practitioner, as our guest interview. A huge thank you to our Sight and Sound team, Jim Boyce and Terry Frey, who without their help, this show wouldn't exist.
Amen.
Good morning, Sandy.
Well, good morning, Irene. It's welcome to being here with us this morning. I'm so happy to have you as our guest. And you know, you're always welcome, so anytime you ever decide. But I want to thank you, residents out there, for listening this morning, and to welcome for you to be here with us to give you the updates of what's coming this week. I am your co-host, Sandy Pulver, and again, this is one amazing show, and we've got a lot of things going on today to share with you this morning. So I'm going to turn it back to you. Let's get it started.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Now for the news. I hope you have your pencil handy and your favorite morning beverage as I review the week ahead. Don't forget to sign up for the tour of the recycling center Tuesday, April 21st if you're interested. The bus is available, so RSVP Joy Lore at 513-502-2345 or check in at the sales office as soon as possible. This is one of the fun activities being offered for Earth Day. The Weed Warriors start their spring hours today. Weeding in the Hummingbird Garden begins from 9 to 10. Then the outside railroad gardens from 10 to 11. The Weed Warriors meet on Tuesdays at the Cooper Wildflower Woods and Prairie Gardens from 9 to 10. If you have any questions or would like to help, contact Betsy Hall at 740-804-0967. Otto and Elaine Zing will be with us on May the 10th during the Sunday night Vesper service. Refreshments will be available honoring Mother's Day and celebrating the return of our dear friends. So come early. The refreshments start at 6 p.m. and come and visit with the Zings. It'll be good to see them. Working for Others meets tomorrow, April 14th, and again on April 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the craft room. Come and join in the fun, making lap quilts to be given to Pike County Health Center residents at Christmas time. Everyone is welcome to come and help. There are jobs for everyone, whether you sew or not. The March open house was a great success with 1 move-in and 3 deposits made. It's been discussed to have an open house once a month for move-in ready homes. It's awesome to see the growth of our village.
Oh, for sure.
At the executive meeting, it was also announced by BV Foundation Director Susan Nocella that a meeting's coming soon to let us know of the proposed updates being made to the Glenn Center after consideration of our resident comments on the last proposals for the refresh. The April Faith and Values speaker will be Reverend David Baumbaugh on Thursday, April 16th at 10 a.m. in the rehearsal room. David will share his spiritual journey and will speak of his 45 years as a minister and seminary professor. There will be time for questions and answers following his presentation. Also on the 16th, Eleanor Fujita will share her grandmother's postcard collection and diary, which tells it all on the topic of social media a century ago, at the monthly genealogy group meeting, which will be held at 4 p.m. in the Glenn Center Library. Now I would like to turn it over to Reverend David Baumbaugh for his message. Welcome, David.
Thank you. When we first moved to the village, our next-door neighbor had a large flower garden in the rear of her house. From early spring until late fall every year, that plot of ground was a riot of color and diversity. From early spring until late fall, my neighbor spent uncounted hours tending that plot of ground, weeding, pruning, deadheading, all the work a garden demands. She toiled over that bit of ground with fierce commitment and determination to create an oasis of beauty for her own delight and for the delight of the rest of us. The time came, however, when determination and commitment were simply not sufficient. The time came when her body would no longer sustain the dream her mind had formed. She spent fewer and fewer hours in her garden until the day came when she moved from her house. Inevitably, the house now sat empty. Her beautiful garden, now untended, grew lank and tall and was invaded by weeds and vines. And at last the village groundspeople came in, cut everything away, dug up the garden, and sowed grass seed, thereby turning that little plot of ground to the uniformity of the surrounding lawn. All my neighbor's efforts had ceased, except in the memories of those of us who survived her. I have discovered over the years, we are not the only keepers of memory. Early every spring, where the garden once existed, small green spears force their way through the grass, and they are followed by small, fragile flowers. The blossoms don't last long, but they signal that the earth remembers my neighbor and her dream and all her diligent efforts to cultivate beauty. What we do to and for the earth outlives us, for the earth remembers. I'm reminded of a quote attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson said, "To laugh often and love much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the approval of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to give of oneself, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to have played and laughed with enthusiasm and sung with exaltation, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have existed. This is to have succeeded. Keep well, my friends, and stay strong. Amen."
Thank you, David. That was wonderful. I really am feel inspired. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
God bless you. And
Take care.
you want to take your water with you,
I guess I can do that.
just in case you need a drink.
Thank you.
Is that all that's in there?
Yep, that's all that's in there today.
Okay. Well, have a good day, and thank you. Well, I've been waiting for this interview for several months, and I'm so happy to have this conversation with Cacey Clevenger. She's a CMP from Medina and cardiology. Good morning.
Good
Welcome.
morning. Thank you.
It's good to have you here this morning.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
That's really good. And I understand you have quite a few patients here, and
do.
they're looking forward to seeing you and hearing what you have to say for us.
Yes, and they are always my favorite patients.
Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Well, as we grow older,
Yes.
okay, what are some of the most common heart conditions that seniors should be aware of, and what early signs should we kind of watch for?
Yeah, so let's start with some of the more common ones you may hear about as you age. It can include coronary artery disease, atrial fibrillation, heart failure, valvular disease. All of those may seem scary and like big medical terms, but the most important thing is knowing what symptoms to watch for. So aside from the classic like chest pain, there are a lot more subtle symptoms that I like for people to watch out for. Things like feeling more tired than usual, getting short of breath doing activities that once were very easy for you, leg swelling, feeling heart racing or fluttering. All of those can be symptoms that maybe something is changing.
Well, many people hear about blood pressure and cholesterol numbers. What numbers should seniors really kind of be attentive to, and when does this, kind of like comes to protecting their heart?
Yes. So I feel like everyone's heard the numbers thrown around. I feel like in general, you hear that like the perfect blood pressure is 120 over 80. Ideally, I like to see it less than 130 over 80. However, that can vary on a personal basis. And sometimes as we age, we prefer that blood pressure to even be a little on the higher side as opposed to being too low. So I always recommend talking with your own healthcare provider to set your personal goal for blood pressure.
Okay, I know lifestyle does play a big part in our health care.
It does.
What are some of the few simple things that seniors can do every day to keep their hearts, strong and healthy?
Yes, so there are multiple simple things that you can do on a daily basis. Even light activity like walking is one of the best things that you can do. Just moving your body on a daily basis really makes such a big difference. In addition, with eating balanced meals, staying hydrated, getting enough sleep, taking your prescribed medications, all of those small steps really add up.
Okay, and sometimes our heart symptoms can be subtle.
Yes.
So what symptoms should we never be ignored and should prompt someone to seek medical attention like right away?
Yes. So chest pain or pressure should never be ignored, as well as shortness of breath at rest, feeling like you're going to pass out, any sudden weakness on one side of the body, changes in speech, those things we would not want you to try and wait out, and we would want you to seek medical attention immediately.
You're really talking to the right audience out there. Okay, exercise is often recommended for health care.
Yes.
But what types of physical activity, even though you said walking,
Yep.
are generally safe and beneficial for older adults?
Yeah, so the good thing is it doesn't need to be anything extreme. Like we mentioned with the walking, also light strength exercises, stretching, even chair exercises. I hear from multiple of my patients that there's a great pool here, so the water exercises are always helpful. I think the most important thing is just moving your body continuously and safely on a daily basis.
I teach Tai Chi, and you hear and see so much on Facebook, and I know this is not one of your questions, but I'm really thinking seriously of doing a Tai Chi class, adding to the walking. Do you think that is really, do you think that is really true, that Tai Chi walking and exercise really is quite beneficial?
I think it would be, yes, absolutely.
It would be?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, for someone who's already has a heart condition,
Yes.
what steps can they take to manage it well and stay maintained for a good quality of life?
Yes, so for anybody that does have an existing condition, you can still live a very full and active life. The biggest piece of advice and the key is staying on top of it. So keeping your appointments, taking your medication, paying attention to how you're feeling. You know your body better than anyone. So I always like to also remind people that you are the most important part of your healthcare team.
Okay, wow. And what's one piece of advice that you'd like to take let our audience to take away from this interview? Can you share that?
I would say listen to your body. Don't ignore changes. If you feel like something isn't right, please speak up. Because the earlier that we catch things, the more that we can do to keep your heart healthy and strong, and also keep you doing the things that you enjoy.
Okay, and I know this is not one of our questions, but could you let them know where you're located?
Yes, so I am at Adena Pike Hospital up on the hill. I'm there 2 days a week. I am accepting new patients as well, so if anyone needs to get into cardiology, I'd be happy to see you.
Well, I thank you again, Cacey, for being here, and we're at that age, Irene.
Oh, yes.
And we really thank you for your time this morning, Cacey.
Yes, thank you
It's
so
really
much.
Good. It's really nice to meet such a young woman. She's got a set of twins, of girls.
Twin girls, yep.
At 10 years old and a 6 or 7 year old boy.
6-year-old little boy.
Yeah, she's got quite a family and keeps
Yes.
you young and
Yes,
safe.
ma'am.
And
Yeah, I hope.
That's good.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Well, you have a good week, and thank you
Thank
for coming.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. All right. That was fun. Say what? Oh, I did, Cacey. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't give you a card. Thank you, Irene. That's nice to have you by my side. Okay, for the updates that are coming our way, the winner of the doggy basket from the Nook is Ruthie Moore. Congratulations, Ruthie. This was a donation by Susan Rumfield, and you can still have time to win the bunny. It's not a little bunny, it's a pretty
big
big
bunny.
Yes, and that drawing, it's in the display case if you haven't noticed, but the drawing will be on April 30th, so we're looking forward to see who wins that. We'd like to welcome one of our RV families. That's one of 3. They arrived last week. It's Denise and Scott Williams from Ohio. Actually, they're from Adams County. When you have an opportunity to meet this lovely couple, which I have, they're really nice. They've already got their little area decorated with flowers and such. It really looks really good. Just give them a nice Bristol Village welcome and a smile. They'll appreciate that. The Earth Day scavenger hunt actually begins next Monday, April 20th through Wednesday the 22nd. Each tree will have a posted letter. And I don't know if our gents can see this or not. They're actually, I don't know if you can see this, but this here is like probably on some foil. It'll be connected or tacked on to a tree. So what you're gonna do is you take these letters and you're gonna form a, it's kind of like a little message, a final message, and it's a kind of a common phrase. So once you get that, and on the 22nd, there's the top 3 winners will receive a prize. So get into some fun, follow the map and the directions for this scavenger hunt coming up. I'd like to mention the bloom where you're planted. It's Tuesday, April 28th. It's from 10 to 1. It's here in the Glen Center. Everything that's on the walking track, all the senior services that Bristol Village services here, and it gives us through, that's available, as well as the community. They'll have time for questions and answers. There will be door prizes, some lunch, and also some entertainment with some line dancing if you like, and also some fun things to do afterwards, like cornhole, if you're into cornhole. I don't know if they'll do shuffleboard or not, space-wise. We have to kind of watch for that. But if you have any questions, you want to contact Katie House, and I'll give you her phone number. If you got your pencil handy again, it's 740-222-2553. Also, too, coming up on April 21st to May 26th, from 11:15 to 12, in the multipurpose room is a balance and confidence class. This is, for information on this, you might want to contact Cacey Hobbs on this, and it's 740-708-2483. Now that again is on April 21st. It's on a Tuesday, every Tuesday from April 21st to the 26th of May, from 11 to noon, 11:15. Mark your calendars that the Run, Stroll, Roll fundraiser will be Friday, June 19th. For those that are new to the village, it's a fun day of supporting the foundation by registering to walk the village and have other support of donations to help our programs offered here at Bristol Village. There will be more information in the bugles to come. Do watch for that. And speaking of the bugle, the cutoff date for May is April 17th. And you want to send those information, whatever you might want to add to the bugle, to Andrea Davis, and her email is an, and that's Davis, at nationalchurchresidence.org. Waverly High School Art Show will be on the 6th of May through the 11th, displayed here on the walking track. So do enjoy your walking exercise as you view the talents of our young people. Speaking of the Waverly High School, do sign up to join the Bristol Village Choir. They were invited by Zach Ross to join their choir. And that program, you're going to be on that, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
It's May 11th. The only practice is needed is at 5:30, just before the program, which starts at 7. So we'll be singing a lot of great songs for our 250th anniversary of our country. So if you're interested in doing that, you might do it as quickly as possible. It's called Daryl Foreman. And his number, if you got your pencil again, get it ready, it's 740-607-3980. Okay, and the Bristol Village Appalachian Trail Hiking Update Challenge for 2026 goes from 220 miles to 440. Now, walking this trail, you transition from high peaks of Tennessee all the way down to North Carolina border into the famous ridges of Southwest Virginia. Some key landmarks you can Google. The highlights to see are some of the sites along the section of the trail. Also, while you're looking for a place to rest, they usually have a resting spot between 18 to 15 miles apart. You can kind of check out to see where you can rest. But you're probably wondering why I'm sharing this with you. Well, there are some serious hikers that live here, okay, and might feel like that they're making a wonderful journey. And so thanks to Jim Boyce for his update and some of the informational sheets that he has printed off for you out there on the podium where you sign your miles and put them in that little envelope. You can pick one of those up and find out where you can actually enjoy some of these trails and where to stop and some of the highlights on that trip. So, have you made that trip? Well, you walked it.
I finished it for this year already.
You too, yeah. She walks every morning early, 2.5 miles every morning or so. That's great. Well, we want to thank the workers, volunteers in making cookies, and you for your support of the Sheriff's 54 car. Now, we're still looking for donations. But it was a beautiful day. Here's a little box. It'll be sitting out there, right there at the banking station. So just put your little check in there, or some coin, or even some green stuff. You know, it'd be really nice to fill that up. It was a beautiful day. The room was filled with laughter and togetherness, and a great cause of refurbishing the '54 sheriff's car. It was really a lot of fun.
And it's a beautiful car.
Oh, it was so cute. It was parked out there till like almost 2 o'clock. I mean, it was fun. It was really nice to see it. Well, there's one more thing before I end up this, is the premier dinner presents a starter of fried cheese balls with hot peach sauce. For the entree, you have crab imperial, twice baked potato, roasted broccoli, and a dinner roll. To finish your taste buds, cheesecake with lemon sauce for dessert.
Oh, I like the dessert.
Yeah, you do. All for the cost of $30. There's 2 seatings, one at 4:30 and at 6. Now this is going to be served on Friday, April 24th. So you want to make sure you get your reservation. I think it's the end of this week, the 17th. So make sure you do that. And winter bowling. It ended this week. Yes, and you're a bowler.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready for summer in June. But can you tell us about who and had the highest score of bowling?
Oh, I can.
Do you have that handy?
I do. In the men's scratch game, Gary Crabtree came in first with a 267. Wow. That was his highest game.
Wow.
Dennis Altman was second with a 208, and Rodney Leith third with a 204. For the scratch series, it was Gary Crabtree with a 624 for his series. Rodney Leith at 555 was second. Chuck Whitaker was third with a 538 for the series.
Good job.
In their handicap, it was Gary Crabtree with 276 for his his handicap. Dennis Altman had a 239, and Alan Davis had 234. And in their handicap series, Gary Crabtree again with a 651, Dennis Altman was 630, and Chuck Whitaker was 619. In the women's category, our top woman bowler had a 217, and that was Cindy Smith.
Oh my goodness.
That's incredible for a woman.
Oh, wow.
Tony Waters came in second with a 208, and yours truly came in third with a 158. See the point difference there? In the scratch series, Tony Waters came in with the highest series at 536. Cindy Smith with a 492 was second, and I came in with a 418 for the series. In the handicap games, Cindy Smith was 256, Tony Waters 233, 217 for me, and in the handicap series, Tony Waters with a 614, Cindy Smith with a 609, and my highest was 598 in the handicap series.
And she was the most improved bowler. Congratulations, Irene, on that one.
I hope to keep improving.
Well, I would say so. Okay. Well, what's got for our birthdays coming up?
Okay, on our weekly birthdays, happy birthday to everyone. Connie Green on the 14th, Becky Emmerine and Stephen Mann on the 15th, John Little on the 16th, Russell Good and Willard Parker on the 17th, Ron Anderson on the 18th, and Francis Megan and Margaret Russell on the 19th. Congratulations to everyone and happy birthday, and may you have many more.
Yes.
The enrichment hour this week will be the Hilltop Brass Quintet of music teachers from Chillicothe at 7:30 p.m. Thursday, April 16th. Visit the Nook from 6:15 to 7:15 before the program to see a color pencil drawing demo done by Norma DePere. And if you have not seen her animal drawings, you need to see them because they are they're incredible. They're lifelike. It looks like the real animal in that picture. Refreshments will be available at the Nook as you shop. Early voting runs now through May 3rd, so get out there and do your civic duty. Do your part.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, speaking of that, are we finished for today? That's about it.
I think so.
Okay,
That's
we're doing
about it.
good. Well, as we come to a close, I'd like to thank you for tuning in with us, and hopefully with the information given has been a big help to you. And I know that interview, for me, that was a
very
good.
nice.
And our inspiration, Dave, did a wonderful job. Yes.
Did a good job.
Well, remember now, too, to greet each other, with a little smile and a positive comment. You'll find that this will give you inner peace. And a healthy tip for today is stay hydrated, like Cacey had mentioned. Get a bit of fresh air, or maybe even adding a few extra vegetables to your diet and your meals. And that will make a big difference in how you feel, for sure. So take care of yourself until we meet again with you next week. Joyce should be back. And thank you again, Irene, for your time this morning. It was wonderful having you. And thanks for our guys making us look and sound good. Yes, thumbs up for Jim, he is. Terry, what do you think? Time's up? Thumbs up? Okay, he's got his one thumb up. Well, until then, we'll see you next week. Have a great week. God bless you. And
Everybody go out and take a walk.
Oh.
It's beautiful right now. Everything's blooming, and the village is just lovely.
Well, they say this whole week is going to be in the 80s. And then you disappointed me. She said something very negative. It's going to be down 50 degrees next week. But we won't think about that. Okay, enjoy today. And we'll see you next time.
Enjoy this beautiful week.
Yes, for sure.
Have a good one.